Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Schwartz-Reichel. My career began in music education where I learned the importance of a key change, a shift, in the tonal center of a piece of music, often used to inject energy or produce significance. Eventually, I realized the impact of making key changes in all areas of my life and the desire to help others do the same. Making key changes can be difficult. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I do like to pose questions for reflection and offer actionable key changes for us to attempt in both our working and living situations. Together, we can unlock our greatest potential in collaboration with those we love, serve, and lead. Let's discover how we can grow together by making key changes. Welcome to episode number 90 of Making Key Changes. We've been going strong with one episode a week since January 2024. That's almost 2 years. We're thrilled to have reached this exciting milestone as we draw closer to 100 episodes. We're especially excited to welcome several new listeners who've joined us recently. Thank you to those tuning in from around the world, including South Jordan, Utah, Ruckersville, Virginia, Northampton, Pennsylvania, Dallas, Houston, and Porter, Texas, El Dorado Hills, California, Ormond Beach, Florida, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Kyiv City, Ukraine, El Pueblito, Mexico, and London, England, just to name a few new places I've noticed in the show's data. Hello to each one of you, and thank you for listening to this show. It means so much to me. Reach out so I can learn more about you. If you caught a few episodes already, you know that every Tuesday, Making Key Changes brings you insights for personal and professional growth. And if you've been with us a little longer, you also know that every fifth episode is a special one, where we pause, reflect, and review the previous 4 episodes. Why? Because taking time to revisit what we've learned helps us digest knowledge, apply it with intention, and make the kind of key changes that help us grow, and ultimately show up better for the people we love, serve, or lead. So let's jump into those last 4 episodes. In episode number 86, titled Acknowledge Your Capacity and Eliminate Apologies, I explore the habit many of us have of overcommitting and feeling the need to apologize when we can't meet unrealistic expectations. I encourage listeners to reflect on their true capacity, what they can genuinely handle without sacrificing their well-being or excellence. When we acknowledge our limits and let go of unnecessary apologies, we create space for more intentional choices, clearer communication, and more sustainable leadership. Honoring your capacity isn't a sign of weakness. It's a key change that supports both personal and professional growth. In episode number 87, titled Making Decisions Out of Faith, Not Fear, I invite you to take a closer look at what's truly driving your decisions. Are you choosing from a place of faith or reacting out of fear? In this episode, I challenge the patterns of hesitation, second-guessing, and fear-based decision-making that often keep us stuck, such as playing small, seeking approval, or avoiding risk. Instead, I encourage you to step into choices grounded in faith, clarity, courage, and purpose. I also invite you to think like an engineer by analyzing situations from all angles. Engineers see challenges not as barriers, but as puzzles to solve. I offer 4 key changes to help approach our own lives with an engineer's mindset. When we lead with faith, not fear, we begin to make decisions aligned with our values and vision, even when the outcomes aren't guaranteed. These choices may require courage, but they create momentum, integrity, and a deeper impact in how we live, lead, and show up for others. In episode number 88, titled A Lot Can Change in a Decade, and So Can You, I invite you to pause and consider this powerful truth. So much can change in 10 years, and so can you. In this episode, I reflect on the power of time, intention, and personal growth. It's easy to feel stuck in the short term or to underestimate what's possible over a longer stretch of time. But meaningful change isn't just possible, it's inevitable when we commit to small, consistent, and intentional actions. I encourage you to look back at who you were a decade ago and recognize how far you've already come. From that place of awareness and grace, we can begin to map out the next chapter of our lives, thoughtfully, purposefully, and with renewed energy. Whether you're navigating personal transitions, building a career, or leading others, this episode will help you shift your perspective and reconnect with your sense of possibility. That brings us to the final episode in this series, episode number 89, titled From Lazy Moments to Lasting Growth. In this episode, I focus on the power of reflection and how those so-called lazy moments can actually become a launching point for intentional growth. I invite you to pause, step back from your daily routine, and ask yourself, where am I right now? Where do I want to go? And what might I do differently to get there? Whether you're leading, serving, creating, or simply trying to live more intentionally, this episode encourages you to use reflection not just as a break, but as a bridge to lasting, purposeful action. The common thread across episodes 86 through 89 is embracing intentional growth through self-awareness, reflection, and courageous decision-making. My goal for each episode is to invite you to slow down, gain clarity, and take aligned steps toward becoming the person you want to be. As I make key changes in my own life, I strive each day to become a little better than I was yesterday, last year, or even a decade ago. In these recent episodes, I share personal stories about my husband and children, what I'm learning from them, what they're learning from me, and how we're growing together. These 4 episodes are deeply personal to me and have reminded me that the choices I make in my personal life profoundly shape my professional journey as well. I hope you'll find these conversations to be a meaningful resource as you reflect and grow too. Look back so you can move forward. If this episode or any of the 90 episodes resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Send a message through my website, makingkeychanges.com. And don't forget to share the show with someone who might benefit from it. If you haven't done so yet, I encourage you to subscribe to the weekly newsletter. You'll find a link in the show notes. I publish the newsletter every Wednesday, and it aligns with the podcast, offering extra insights to help you grow. Finally, book me to speak at an upcoming event. I'd love to help strengthen your people. I've recently added a speaker reel to my website and to the show notes, so you can share that link with people in your company or organization who coordinate learning opportunities. How are we making key changes to look back on our lives and decisions with clarity so we can move forward with confidence? Thanks for listening. If you haven't done so yet, please consider rating and reviewing the Making Key Changes podcast on the Apple Podcast app. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with others and joining me again next week. In my coming episodes, I'll discuss topics that are most passionate to me, along with things I've been researching or areas of my life I have changed or want to change. You can learn more about me on my website, makingkeychanges.com. Feel free to message me through there or reach out on social media. I'd love to hear from you and learn about what key changes you hope to make.